Hey ninjas, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be talking you through the best way to increase your ROAS for Facebook ads. And honestly, I also think it's the simplest way to do that without any of the complicated tech or analytics. And specifically, we will be talking about 3 simple ways how you can do this literally in less than 10 minutes. And it helped us and our customers dramatically increase ROAS. So it is a proven method. Hi, my name is Sylvia Myers and I am one of the co-founders of the Traffic Ninjas. What we do is we help business owners just like you get highly converting traffic to your store and convert it to sales even if you've got limited resources. Make sure that you like and comment and also subscribe to this channel so that you never miss out. Now guys, also please do make sure you stay until the end because I'm going to be showing you a super powerful ninja tip that will help you actually increase profitability of your store beyond just watching your ROAS inside your Facebook ads. So how to increase your ROAS and what are the best ways for doing that? So let's get right into it. The 3 super powerful ways how you can increase your ROAS literally simply within minutes is first, optimizing your campaigns for CBO or campaign budget optimization. And I'm going to show you in detail what I mean by that. 2, changing your bidding strategies. And I'm also going to be showing you details of how to do that. And 3, changing your targeting. And particularly this has changed since iOS 14 came onto the scene. And this is very, very important. So let's get into the details of things. So the first thing you want to do to really increase your ROAS is make sure that you've got campaign budget optimization turned on. So when you're creating your campaign, some of the settings have recently changed. So let's say you're going for purchases and conversions. And by the way, if you're watching for ROAS, you always should have your campaign set for conversions. That's just by the way. But this window here is quite new, right? So it's going to give you an option of streamlined, tailored, or best practices, or you can switch to manual conversion campaigns. I personally think you should be switching to manual conversion campaigns because that will give you more control and will give you more settings where you can pick and choose what actually is going to work for your business and for your ROAS. So I would choose this one. And then inside in here, it kind of takes us to the old window that we used to have before. And it's super simple. What you're going to do is essentially you're going to turn on campaign budget optimization in here. And so in this way, you're going to select your daily budget for the campaign, and that campaign is going to distribute it between ad sets rather than you selecting budget for each ad set specifically. For myself and our customers, we have seen huge dramatical increase in ROAS ever since that change of iOS 14 came in. Prior to this, we always used to set separate budget for ad sets, but ever since those privacy changes kicked in, honestly, campaign budget optimization has been working wonders. Why is that? Because Facebook wants you to give them a little bit more freedom, a little bit more of them figuring out who is your ideal customer, because in other words, that algorithm had to be kind of a little bit dumbed down. So it's a little bit blind, right? Before it was really precise. Right now, it's kind of being a little bit inaccurate. So inside the Facebook ads campaigns, it needs to figure out who is your ideal customer. And for that, it needs freedom. And therefore, I always suggest to turn on your campaign budget optimization to increase your ROAS. Now, number 2, super effective way how to increase your ROAS is also to start playing around with the bidding strategies. So what do I mean by that? Typically, every single campaign is set to a bidding auction, but that bidding auction, when you start looking down here, is actually prioritized to give you the highest volume or value. In other words, it's kind of giving the opportunity to Facebook like, hey Facebook, give me just as many people as you can for the audience that I'm asking about. Now, what you can start doing is that you can start actually specifying that. So once you really understand what's your cost per result, so for example, typically you pay for sale $20, or typically you've got a return on ad spend of 2.5 and you want to increase that, you would be choosing one of these. you would be choosing one of these strategies. I personally like the cost per result goal, and that's essentially telling Facebook, hey, I want to specify myself how much I want to pay for every sale. So once we select this, what happens is that in the next window, when you are actually creating your ad set and you are selecting your audience, you essentially can now specify like, hey, normally with my ads, I paid about $15 for a sale, and that gives me about 2.5 return on ad spend. But how about I actually want to decrease how much I'm paying for sale? Okay, so if typically it costs me $25 to make a sale, then I'm gonna try and play around with it and start actually putting 21 or 19 or 20. And this way you will start seeing if this ad will actually be delivering your creatives to the audience you specified. And if it's not going to be doing that, then you know that this cost per result specification is just too low. However, I really like this neat way, because once you understand how much you're typically paying for sales and there is some record in your store, this is a super neat, easy and neat way how to essentially increase your return on ad spend, decrease your costs. And honestly, you don't have to do much. You just specify the number there and just let it rest, give it some budget, and off you go. Watch the result. And the third super simple way how to increase your ROAS is essentially to change your targeting, to change your audience. Now, in the past, I was one of those advocates who would be telling you like, hey, make sure that you're going to do detailed targeting and that you're just going to test one interest at a time. But guys, all of that has changed recently, okay? And Facebook really needs a lot of space to be able to find you your ideal audience and to be able to get you those sales and get you that high ROAS. And honestly, it works like wonders, and it's so simple, it's just crazy. But once again, because that algorithm is a little bit less precise with the privacy changes, and it's much less precise to what it used to be, you've got to give it freedom. Now, what do I mean by that? In the past, I would have selected my countries here. So let's say we're going to target United States or United Kingdom as well. Let's say we go United States. And it's still okay to have multiple countries inside your ad set. But when it's coming to, it's okay to specify your age if you want to. Like, let's say your ideal customer definitely is not below 35, then I would not be putting the age below 35. However, when it does come to detailed targeting, there is two ways how I like to keep this. Like, first of all, and honestly, this is gonna sound like crazy and against anything logical that you've experienced before, but some of the ad sets that work the best for me are literally just countries, age, and nothing. Super broad, like nothing, okay? So that's the one way of doing that. So literally just countries, just your age, and then just honestly do not do anything. And the second way how I like to do that is also keeping it broad, and also this goes against to what I used to teach before, is essentially selecting as many interests that fit your ideal customer as possible. So for example, let's say you're in the home decor category. So we're gonna go home decor. We're gonna go all of these suggestions: interior design, architecture, modern architecture, DIY, furniture, IKEA, Ideal Home, Zara Home, like you name it. You're just gonna go and you're just gonna select as many of them as possible, like literally as many of them as possible. And that's gonna give Facebook the understanding of, okay, this is kind of the type of people these guys want, but you're still leaving it very broad. And so we already talked about CBO, campaign budget optimization. We also talked about the bidding strategies. So in this way, I would just take this ad set and I would literally call it broad interests. And then I would specify the age that I've had there. And once you essentially close it, you just save that. Then I would duplicate this literally just in a simple way like this, and I would call this one broad ad set countries only. And in this one, I will do exactly the same, but without any of these interests, because from my experience, these type of ad sets right now perform the best. And because by this point, we will have specified to Facebook what is our ideal result, how much do we actually want to pay for that result. By this time, we have specified that, we have also created CBO, and there you go. Just get ready for really high ROAS within literally less than 10 minutes. And as promised, also ninja tip, right? I promised you a ninja tip that will help you increase profitability of your store beyond just looking at the numbers inside your ads manager, right? Beyond just looking at what is my ROAS inside this campaign. So guys, to really increase profitability of your business, you've got to understand first your break-even ROAS, and also how much can you afford to pay per click. Yes, because sometimes all it comes down to is our creative. Like, am I actually paying too much for a click? And if I'm paying too much for a click, then there is no way back from there, right? Because if I can only afford to pay $1 per click, but actually I've paid 2 or 3, then I can just forever keep working on my conversion rate or on my average order value, but it's just going to be very hard to increase my return on ad spend. So ninja tip for today, make sure guys that you do understand your break-even ROAS, and make sure you do understand how much can you actually afford to pay per click, and then grow it from there. So this neat calculator, we've got to get it ready for you. Just comment below the video or click on the next video that will take you through the explanation and actually gives you a little bit more detail on how to calculate your break-even ROAS and how to use this calculator for yourself. So with that said guys, just do remember to comment below. Let me know how you like this video. Let me know what you took out of there. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and I cannot wait to hearing how you've increased your ROAS within less than 10 minutes. I'll talk to you soon.